Listening to Coffee with Kenobi, you are, with Dan Z and Corey Clubb, the podcast you're looking for. This is, yes.
For an entire generation, people have experienced Star Wars the only way it's been possible, on the TV screen. But if you've only seen it this way, you haven't seen it at all.
This is the podcast you're looking for.
We've been waiting for you.
The force is strong here, even stronger than the coffee.
Welcome to Coffee with Kenobi. Here are your hosts, Dan Z and Corey Clubb.
Hi, this is Ashley Eckstein, voice of Ahsoka Tano from Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, and you're listening to Coffee with Kenobi with Dan Z and Corey Clubb. This is the podcast you're looking for.
Ahsoka Tano, one of the most beloved characters, and in our opinion, the strongest female character in the entire Star Wars saga. I don't think there's really any doubt about that, so we'll be respectful of your time and just hit right away. To you, what kind of impact has Ahsoka had on the Star Wars mythos?
Wow. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for that amazing introduction, and thank you for having me on your show. I'm honored by your kind words, so thank you.
Absolutely.
But, you know, of course I'm biased, and I'm so proud of Ahsoka. I think she's been so well done and so well written, and I am just one person in an entire team of people that bring her to life. So I'm very proud of what we've been able to accomplish over the past few seasons. But again, I say I'm biased. However, being here at Celebration and to see the fan response, after the season 1 finale on Star Wars Rebels online on social media, it really does hit me to understand that the impact that she has made on the Star Wars universe and the Star Wars mythos. And when I even see the kids and the girls and boys, and the impact that she's had on them, it does hit me when I realize, like, okay, she really has become a powerful character.
Absolutely. And we got to sit on the Rebels panel you had done yesterday, and it was kind of a sneak peek on then season 2, and we brought you guys kind of later out on the panel. It was so exciting to see you and Dee Bradley Baker come out and
surprise,
reveal. It was you got that call, all right, to come back, so what was that experience like? And maybe without revealing too much, what can you say about the evolution of Ahsoka from seeing her leaving Clone Wars and then evolution into Rebels?
A lot's changed since Clone Wars and now in Rebels, aside the fact that, she's now in her early 30s, and, I still don't know what she's been doing during that time.
The early 30s, isn't that amazing?
It's crazy. I obviously was a little older than Ahsoka when I started the Clone Wars, but I feel like I've grown up with her. I mean, I was in my early 20s when I was cast as Ahsoka, and now I'm in my early 30s. I mean, Ahsoka and I are almost the same age, and even though she's in a galaxy far, far away, I actually feel like some of the same life experiences that she's had in the Clone Wars and now in Rebels, I've had similar experiences. And so it's an interesting time right now, because Dave just said, look, you're in your early 30s. He's like, you can bring a lot of your own self right now, your own experiences to the character. So she's changed a lot from the sense that, she was like the Ezra in Clone Wars. She was the student, she was the Padawan. And now she's more like the Obi-Wan or the Yoda. So it took me a while at first. I actually had to change my performance, because when I first started to read Ahsoka, I went back to Clone Wars Ahsoka. Sure. And I was really snippy. I was a little almost too energetic. And Dave is like, no, you're the leader now. Really visualize like Obi-Wan when you're reading this.
Very much. And having the good fortune to see the actual season 2 premiere last night was remarkable beyond words, and what you're saying is completely resonating, because when she is reacting to certain things that happen, and we are about as anti-spoiler as you can possibly get, okay. And a lot of our listeners have not seen the season 2 premiere, but they will very soon. What is that like for you to be with an audience and to see the beautiful animation as well as your incredible acting, and you can feel what Ahsoka is feeling, especially at the end of what we saw last night?
Yeah, well, so what happened last night with, while keeping it spoiler free, that was the first time I had seen the premiere. So I had not seen it yet at all. And when I recorded those lines, I didn't get the full script. I only got the pages that my dialogue was on. So, and I'm a very visual person too. So even though I see the lines, I need to see it. I need to visualize it to truly understand what's going on. And especially without the full script, I wasn't able to put it all into context. So as the episode was going on, I started piecing things together of what I had recorded. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Figuring out the story. And I really got chills because I discovered it with the audience for the first time. And now I wish I could watch it on a big screen like that in full, with an audience of a couple thousand people. It was incredible.
And that sound and the gasps and he didn't get to see it. So when you see the end and what happens towards the end of that episode, I really have goosebumps right now because phenomenal.
Thank you.
Actually, you and your husband obviously are an inspiration to a lot of people. You drive fandom a lot. Both of you have been in unique fields, so you get to reach out to a lot of interesting fans and different fandoms. How similar are your passions for the fandoms? How are they impact each other as fandoms, and how do you help each other out as far as having impact and leaving legacies to separate genres?
You're just both so inspirational.
Oh gosh, you're so kind.
He's in the field of baseball, and I told you Thursday when we met very briefly, I'm a Cubs fan. Oh. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. My wife is a Cardinal fan, so we have our mixed marriage, right?
Oh goodness, that's
tough. And so
tough.
Deanna loves the Cardinals. She loves your husband, and he was an inspiration. How he plays is how little kids should play, and how you are and how you treat us and everyone else and how you love Star Wars. You're both an inspiration as a couple. How do you make that work so beautifully?
Oh, well, first of all, thank you. You're so kind. It goes back to our families and our parents. And, both of us were taught, at a young age, as far back as we can remember, the golden rule, you treat others as you want to be treated. And Amen. Nobody's better than anyone else. Sure. And when I interact with someone, I think of them like myself and how would I want to be treated. And, sure. I think that's it. And it also, it helps that we both love what we do. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't feel like work. It feels like fun. Yeah. And we're fans too. I am a huge Star Wars fan. Aside from being the voice of Ahsoka, I am a fan of Ahsoka. I am a fan of Rebels and Clone Wars, and so I want to know what happens. And David's a true fan of baseball, and so when we talk about it, and it's exciting, and it's we have passion for it. It's because we're truly fans of it, and the golden rule: treat others as you want to be treated.
Right. And we're both married to our wives, and this partnership and balance, yep. and we just really admire how you do that.
Speaking of my wife, real quick, she is slowly becoming a Star Wars fan, and so
cool.
we went on to her universe and got to research some of the stuff. So, in context to Celebration, what are some of the new items that you've debated maybe at Celebration here are kind of been using through her universe?
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for your support. One thing when we launched almost 5 years ago now, just as many of our supporters are men. And I think that's the biggest testament to really this fandom is people from the outside looking in, they say, Star Wars is just for men and boys. But if you're actually a fan and on the inside, you actually come here and you see that it's universal. It's for everyone. The men are just as supportive of the women, and the women are just as supportive of the men. Especially Star Wars. It transcends gender. It's for everyone. So all the guys listening, and to yourself, sure. Thank you so much, both of you, for your support. But we actually debuted a brand new fashion collection. Every single piece was brand new here at Celebration. Some dresses, skirts, jewelry, cardigans. So the biggest surprise was that Kathleen Kennedy walked out on stage for Thursday's panel in our shirt, our lightsaber logo shirt, and I had no idea that she was going to wear it. I knew that she had bought the shirt, but it was I thought she had bought it for dinner the night before. So when she walked out on stage in our shirt, literally I about fell over, and our Twitter blew up. Everyone was sending me messages, and because I was on the show floor still setting up our booth, and luckily they were screening it on the big screen on the show floor, so I got to go see it. But it was really a surreal moment, and so that shirt has been like the most popular shirt, and I'm now calling it the Kathleen Kennedy shirt.
I like that. I like that. Well, we know our time's almost up. We have 5 questions that we ask each of our guests, kind of a quick rapid-fire James Lipton style inside the Actors Studio.
Okay.
So, what is your favorite Star Wars movie?
Favorite Star Wars movie would be Empire Strikes Back. I mean, I love Han and Leia. That's where the girl finally gets her guy. I love you, I know. It's my favorite.
Classic. So, your favorite Star Wars character?
Hands down, R2-D2.
Really?
There you go.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Ahsoka.
Oh, well, I would be way too biased. Of course, Ahsoka is a dear favorite, but R2-D2 has been my childhood favorite character since I was 3.
You can't go wrong.
So, let's see.
Favorite line of dialogue or film moment?
Here's where the fun begins.
Perfect. If you collect, what is your favorite collectible that you own?
My favorite collectible that I own would be, and yes, I collect, would probably be Ahsoka's official lightsaber hilt, because I have the EFX one. They were so kind to give me one when they did the run. So that's probably my favorite collectible. A side kind of favorite thing is one time we were doing a press junket for Clone Wars at Big Rock in San Francisco on my birthday. And so I have an Ahsoka Tano action figure signed by the entire crew of Clone Wars, like Dave Filoni and everyone. So that's a prized possession.
Oh, my goodness. So what particular messages or themes about the Star Wars saga resonate or speak to you?
What speaks to me about Star Wars is Star Wars, to me, is a story of hope. It's a story of good overcoming evil. And, who doesn't love that?
That's right.
Absolutely. Perfect. Well, Ashley, thank you so very much for being on Coffee with Kenobi. Have a wonderful rest of the celebration. We look forward to speaking with you in the future.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Give the evacuation code signal.
Chewie, get us out of here!
This podcast is not endorsed by the Walt Disney Company or Lucasfilm Limited. It is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. The official Star Wars website can be found at www.starwars.com. Star Wars, all names, sounds, and any other Star Wars related items are registered trademarks and or copyrights of Disney and their respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of Coffee with Kenobi unless otherwise indicated.
This is the podcast you're looking for.
There's no one here. Move along.